Imagine choosing to go an entire day without eating. At first, it feels harmless. I use dinner like skipping breakfast or pushing lunch a little later. But beneath the surface, something far more dramatic is unfolding. Your organs begin shifting into a mode they rarely access in our constantly fed modern world. The first few hours of fasting are not just about resisting hunger. They're a biological negotiation. Your body must quickly decide how to allocate its precious fuel. Your stomach, though empty, doesn't give up immediately. It still churns and releases digestive juices out of habit, almost waiting for food that never arrives. Meanwhile, hormonal signals begin adjusting, whispering to the brain that conserving energy is now the priority. It's like an invisible switch gets flipped somewhere deep inside your system. By hour 4, hunger hormones such as ghrelin spike aggressively, making you feel like you're starving. Even though your energy remains stable, your body is simply reacting to routine being broken, interpreting the sudden change as a minor crisis. But what feels like discomfort is actually the first step in a remarkable transformation. From this point forward, each organ begins taking on a new responsibility. It's as if every system in your body joins a survival orchestra, each playing its part in perfect timing. And leading this orchestra quietly in the background is your metabolism. As you enter hours 6 through 8, blood sugar levels naturally start to dip. For many people, this is when the crash hits. Irritability, fatigue, headaches, or a sense of mental fog. But physiologically, this moment is essential. Your body is shutting down its immediate fuel supply pathway. Glucose is declining, and with it, insulin production drops as well. Insulin's job is to move sugar into your cells. With less insulin available, your system can no longer rely on the steady stream of carbohydrates it's accustomed to. So it sends a message to the liver. Activate the reserves. The liver responds by releasing glycogen, stored glucose, into the bloodstream. This is your metabolic backup battery, a reserve system designed to keep you functional when food is sparse. Your liver works tirelessly to break glycogen into usable sugar, maintaining enough balance for your brain to stay alert. It's a delicate process. Too much glucose wastes energy, too little sparks mental fatigue. This balancing act creates the strange sensation of feeling tired and alert at the same time. This stage represents the earliest form of survival mode, the foundation for the cascade of transformations that follow. If you're fascinated by how your body adapts during fasting and want to continue this journey, make sure to subscribe because the next phases will reveal changes most people never even realize are happening inside them. By hour 10, your liver becomes the unsung hero of the fast. Not only does it regulate blood sugar by releasing glycogen, but it also begins preparing for the next phase, breaking down fat. This metabolic flexibility is the reason humans survived ancient periods of scarcity. Most people think of the liver only as the organ that detoxifies alcohol or medication. But during fasting, its role is far more sophisticated. It becomes a biochemical factory, delivering a steady flow of energy that keeps your brain fully operational even when no food enters your system. As glycogen runs low, the liver starts producing ketone bodies, small fuel molecules made from fat. Your brain loves ketones. Research shows they may even enhance focus and cognitive function, which explains the unusual mental clarity many people report during fasting. This marks a critical turning point. Instead of fearing hunger, your body begins embracing fat as its natural survival fuel, and your liver becomes the mastermind guiding the transition. Inside every cell, tiny mitochondria act like power plants. During fasting, they adapt quickly, squeezing every last bit of energy from the limited fuel available. This microscopic efficiency is one of the reasons fasting is being studied for its potential role in longevity and cellular resilience. And this is only the beginning. Because what happens next inside your body is even more unexpected. As fasting continues, the smallest units of your body begin changing their behavior. Cells adjust their breathing, a process known as cellular respiration. Without the endless stream of glucose they normally rely on, they shift toward burning fat-derived molecules. This switch produces far less oxidative stress than sugar metabolism does. In other words, your cells begin working cleaner, creating fewer harmful byproducts as they generate energy. This is also the stage when autophagy, your body's built-in cleanup system, begins to wake up. Damaged proteins, broken cell parts, and malfunctioning organelles get tagged, recycled, and rebuilt. It's like a microscopic housekeeping crew sweeping through your tissues, preparing your cells to perform better once food returns. Fasting forces your body to pause consumption and begin repair. It's a biological reset modern eating patterns rarely allow. By the 12th to 14th hour of fasting, insulin finally drops to significantly low levels. Low insulin acts like opening the gates to deep fat burning. A hormone that's normally elevated by constant meals is now suppressed, allowing fat cells to release their stored energy into circulation. This hormonal shift is one reason researchers link fasting to improved insulin sensitivity over time. Your body becomes better at using insulin when you eventually eat again, reducing long-term risk for metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes. But there's a psychological twist here. Right as your insulin drops and metabolism shifts gears, cravings can peak. Your body senses the internal transition and tries to pull you back toward old habits. But if you push past this moment, fat oxidation becomes your system's new normal and your energy stabilizes again. Insulin's drop marks a profound internal shift, the official move from the fed state to the fasting state, where survival biochemistry takes control. By hour 15, your stomach has long since emptied, yet it continues producing acid and digestive enzymes according to its usual schedule. This is why you might feel hollow, hear growling, or sense tight contractions. It's not dangerous. It's simply your stomach anticipating the meals it's used to receiving. But with no food arriving, the stomach finally begins to rest. This downtime gives the gut lining a chance to repair itself, something constant snacking often prevents. Researchers suggest that fasting periods may help reduce inflammation in the digestive tract. People with issues like gastritis, bloating, or IBS sometimes notice a surprising improvement during structured fasting windows. It isn't a cure, but it's a reminder. Your gut appreciates the quiet. Even in stillness, it's restoring itself for the next real meal. Around hour 17, your mood may suddenly swing, either toward intense clarity or unexpected irritability. This paradox happens because your brain is learning to run on ketones instead of glucose. Ketones don't just provide energy, they influence neurotransmitters, shifting your mental state. Some people describe this as a clean, focused alertness, almost like they drank a strong cup of coffee. From an evolutionary perspective, it makes perfect sense. When ancient humans were hungry, they needed sharper senses and heightened awareness to find food. Fasting activates that ancient wiring, but if your body isn't fully adapted yet, the transition may trigger moodiness, anxiety, or fog instead. Hydration, sleep, and stress levels all determine how smoothly your brain handles the switch. Ultimately, fasting creates a new mental rhythm. Whether it feels empowering or uncomfortable depends on how your nervous system adapts. By hours 18 to 20, your body turns more aggressively toward fat stores for fuel. Triglycerides inside fat cells break apart into free fatty acids, which circulate through the bloodstream to power your muscles, organs, and brain. This marks the true fat-burning phase of fasting. Your liver transforms a portion of these fatty acids into ketones, ensuring your brain never runs out of energy. By this stage, ketones can supply almost half of your brain's total energy needs. This is why fasting is studied not only for weight control, but for neurological benefits, including potential support for epilepsy, cognitive decline, and Alzheimer's disease. Interestingly, breaking down fat also releases glycerol, a molecule your liver can convert into new glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. It's your body's way of ensuring that essential tissues still receive the glucose they need, even while fat takes center stage as the dominant fuel. And this is where the next metabolic transformation begins. This steady supply of glucose ensures that red blood cells, which cannot use fat for fuel, remain powered even deep into your fast. It's a remarkable example of how your body distributes energy across different organs with precision, never allowing one system to fail while another thrives. This balancing act is one of the reasons fasting has become so widely discussed in weight loss research. But fasting isn't just a fat loss strategy. It unlocks ancient survival pathways that most people never tap into. Your heart, for example, plays an important role in the fasting story. By the 20-hour mark, something fascinating happens. Its workload becomes more efficient. With insulin lower and blood sugar more stable, your cardiovascular system begins to operate with less strain. Blood pressure may drop, inflammation in the vessels may decrease, and overall heart rhythm grows steadier. Some studies even suggest that fasting enhances heart rate variability, an indicator of how quickly your heart can adapt to emotional or physical stress. A higher HRVI means your body is more resilient, better prepared for sudden challenges. However, fasting also reduces electrolytes temporarily, which can affect heart rhythm if you are sensitive or dehydrated. That's why hydration and, during extended fasts, mineral intake becomes non-negotiable. Without it, dizziness or uneven heartbeats may appear. Still, even with these shifts, the heart adapts with surprising grace, settling into a rhythm that balances endurance and efficiency. Even during a fast, your body's top priority remains the same: keep the heart beating strong and steady. By the 22nd hour, one of fasting's most extraordinary processes steps forward: autophagy. This is your body's internal cleanup crew, finally allowed to sweep through cells and remove broken proteins, damaged organelles, and accumulated waste. Think of it as a deep clean that your cells rarely get when you're constantly eating. During normal eating cycles, autophagy remains low because cells are busy digesting nutrients. But in a fasted state, the switch flips. Cells shift from processing food to repairing themselves. This internal renovation has been linked to improved immunity, lower disease risk, and potentially longer lifespan. Animal studies show extended fasting significantly increases lifespan by keeping cells more youthful and efficient. Humans aren't the same, but the trend is compelling. This is why fasting isn't just skipping meals, it's a full biological reset, giving your cells a chance to restore themselves from the inside out. And as you approach the full 24-hour cycle, yet another transformation unfolds. At the 23-hour mark, your gut microbiome begins adjusting. Without constant feeding, some bacteria decrease, while others, ones that thrive during rest, become more active. This shift influences digestion, immunity, and even mood. Research shows fasting can increase microbial diversity, something closely tied to overall health. A more diverse microbiome strengthens your defense against harmful bacteria, enhances nutrient absorption, and reduces inflammation. Your intestines also take advantage of this break. They reinforce the gut lining, repairing microscopic damage and reducing the risk of toxins leaking into the bloodstream, a problem often called leaky gut. So even though your digestive tract is empty, it is far from idle. It is actively resetting itself, strengthening the internal environment that affects your entire body. Then comes one of fasting's most surprising twists: a sharp rise in human growth hormone, HGH. Around the 24-hour mark, HGH levels can spike dramatically, sometimes up to 5 times higher than normal. HGH does much more than build muscle. It helps repair tissues, mobilize fat, protect lean mass, and support cellular recovery. This hormonal surge is one reason fasting is sometimes referred to as a healing state. What's fascinating is that this increase has nothing to do with exercise or sleep. It's triggered purely by the metabolic pressure of fasting, almost as if your body is saying, "Let's protect the muscle while we burn the fat." Despite this, many people fear losing muscle during a fast. But in the first 24 hours, that fear is largely unfounded. Your body is intelligent. It breaks down fat and glycogen long before turning to protein. Serious muscle breakdown only becomes a risk during extremely prolonged fasts lasting several days. For short-term fasting, growth hormone plays a critical protective role. Instead of breaking down muscle, your body actually increases HGH to safeguard it. What most people notice during a fast isn't muscle loss. It's a slight drop in strength or endurance. This comes from reduced glycogen inside the muscles, which limits the explosive energy needed for intense movement. So yes, your muscles feel different, but they aren't being sacrificed during a 24-hour fast. In fact, many athletes use strategic fasting windows to stay lean while preserving muscle definition. Reaching the 24-hour mark is both a physical challenge and a psychological milestone. By this point, your body has fully shifted into fat metabolism, ketone use, and deep cellular repair. It's running in a mode that feels almost unfamiliar in today's constantly fed society. But fasting isn't something everyone should attempt freely. People with medical conditions, especially diabetes, heart issues, or chronic illness, should only fast under professional guidance. For healthy individuals, though, a controlled fast can be an eye-opening reset. The key is listening carefully to your body's signals and knowing your limits. This edge between profound benefit and potential risk is why science urges respect for the process. A single 24-hour fast can be extremely effective, but turning it into a routine requires discipline, hydration, and proper planning. If you're curious how other everyday habits reshape your health, you might also wonder what happens if you drink 5 cups of coffee a day for a month. The science behind that may surprise you. So, what does research ultimately say about fasting for a full day? The evidence suggests that for most healthy adults, a 24-hour fast is generally safe and activates remarkable survival pathways: increased fat burning, enhanced autophagy, hormonal shifts, improved insulin sensitivity, and sharpened brain function. It's not about starving yourself, it's about rediscovering how adaptable your body truly is. But fasting isn't a miracle shortcut. It doesn't replace proper nutrition, quality sleep, or regular movement. Think of it instead as a tool, a way to occasionally reset your metabolism and give your organs space to repair and rejuvenate. The journey of going one full day without food reveals just how intelligent your biology is. What feels like hunger on the surface is actually a complex transformation unfolding at every level of your body. And whether you decide to fast again or not, now you understand the extraordinary science working behind the scenes. If this breakdown helped you see your body in a new way, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Your experience might inspire someone else on their own health journey.